If the name doesn't sound familiar to you, you may know the duo behind the music. Tiny Horse is a collaboration between singer-songwriters Rae Corcoran, one-third of local electro-pop outfit Needless Love, and Ciara Roberts, a singer-songwriter you might have caught opening shows at the Mansion. So what do you get when you combine two creative musicians of varying styles and throw in a lockdown? In this case, you get a mix of folk and country.
Chuck, I hope you get it all. I'm shook. I hope you get it all. One more time.
With Tiny Horse, Ciara and Rae mix their melody crafting and knack for storytelling with a little twang and a bit of humor. Riley Jabor and Reid Cunningham sit down with Ciara and Rae in Skeleton Park to find out what it's all about on this edition of Kingston Live. Not yet. No,
Okay.
That'll be after.
Cool.
Cool. All right.
So we just start these
Yeah,
things,
we just
eh?
start talking.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
Got some big shoes to fill in here.
Is this your first one?
This is my first one.
Oh my God, don't mess it up.
Yeah. This is it's always John and Riley. So this is like I get to come in here and then be under a lot of pressure to make sure to put on a good podcast. So. So why don't you guys just start by telling us a bit of your background, just where you guys got started in music, and who you guys are, first of all.
Do you want to start?
Sure, my name's Ciara.
Ciara Roberts.
My name's Ciara Roberts. I'm from Kingston. I have a background. I picked up a guitar at the ripe age of, I don't know, like 10 and was trash for about 10 years. And yeah, so I play the guitar and yeah, Rae and I like to write songs. And so it just kind of worked out that we ended up writing a few songs together during the lockup.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's kind of where this project came out of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and my name's Rae Corcoran. I've been playing around town for almost 10 years now, which is crazy to think about. I started just playing open mics and doing like some solo acoustic stuff.
Where would you go for open mics?
I started playing at the Mansion. I think that was the Mansion and the Grad Club used to have open mics, like consistently. The first one I ever played was at the Grad Club, and I was so bad. I was just doing covers. I could barely play guitar, and I had terrible stage fright. So I've since gotten over that. And then I met my friend Sean Tommelty, and we started a band. We're called Needless Love. We dropped the endorsement. We were Needless Love endorsement for a while, but that was just a mouthful, and nobody knows how to spell endorsement, so we just had to drop it. That was pretty recent, and we just got a drummer, Harvey Dolphin. He's a great guy, so he's going to be playing with us, hopefully, whenever we figure things out. But we've been writing songs during this like lockdown, lockup, whatever it is. But yeah, me and Ciara, we kind of got inspired by country music. We've been listening to like a lot of country songs because we got sick of the radio, just whatever, pop radio.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. We need to add a few more songs to the mix.
Well, we never really listened to country music, so listening to a new radio station is just like all brand new. And then we started like knowing the songs because we were listening to it all the time. So we were just playing around, and I wrote like a couple lines I was singing them like in a country, like, we drank pink lemonade. And then I'm like, Ciara, what do you think of this? And she just kind of rolled with it, and then we wrote our song Pink Lemonade.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as like country twang. I don't think we're really country.
Yeah, we had a bit of a fight yesterday. We're like, what are we going to tell them? Like, what style are we? And I think we're country. I think we're like country folk. And Rae completely disagrees with that, and she thinks it's just like, what do you think, folk?
I don't know. I guess it's kind of country, but...
It's country.
It's only when I sing it like, we drank pink lemonade.
Yeah.
I feel like the line between folk and country is so blurred. It's basically if you sing it with a twang, it's country.
It's country.
If you sing it like you normally talk, it's folk.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's... Okay, I like that. I don't know. You guys can.
I honestly have no idea where that line is. The way I see it is just like country's a little bit more, I guess, in a pop kind of sense, like it's got a little bit more formula to it, whereas folk is a lot more just soft-spoken. I see singer-songwriter in a lot of it. I don't know if that's correct. I don't know. Like, I'm not huge into countries or folk, so
I know, we didn't think we were either, and then we loved it. It was there was this one song, I forget who it's by, but it's called Done, and like the lyrics are like, done, like a burger on a bun, done. And it's all these Leica, is that a simile? Leica. Yeah. And we just thought it was freaking hilarious. So, yeah, then we just started kind of coming up with, the similes for the songs. And, yeah, sometimes I think also part of country is it's really like storyteller based. Like it's always kind of taking you, it sets the scene, there's characters. Mm-hmm. It's often sad,
Yeah. So before you guys got into this, like, what was sort of the style of music you guys were? You were both separately playing before.
Yeah.
So what was that style?
Okay, so my project with Sean, so Needless Love, we are like pop, electronic pop. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of like synths and drum beats, and then just like pop vocals. And then my acoustic stuff is just, I would say, singer-songwriter, like folky singer-songwriter. Yeah.
Yeah. I like when my solo stuff, I always try to sound like, really cool Canadian indie, but it always sounds like, to me, I feel like I sound like Bare Naked Ladies or something, like it's not cool. It's very like,
I feel like
not
that's
at
cool
all,
exclusively in Canada, though.
Yeah, okay, maybe.
Yeah, that's peak Canadiana in a way.
Yeah.
That's not at all what I think you sound like.
Oh, thank you.
Going back to the reference of Needless Love, do you find it is different? Do you approach songwriting different when you're writing for a synth pop project versus folk?
Yeah, the way me and
country
Sean write is completely different. Like he comes up with like the track, basically. He'll have an idea and he'll have a 3-minute whatever. He's like, okay, you could put the verses here. Like this could be a pre-chorus, this could be a chorus, and then I listen to it and just come up with verses, and I come up with the lyrics, and he does a lot of just the backtracks. So yeah, when we write together, I have a guitar in my hand and I'm playing and coming up with lyrics. So yeah, I don't normally have a guitar in my hand when I'm writing with Sean.
Do you think is it the big difference about who you are writing with or what you are writing for?
Ooh.
Wow, that's a great question.
Good question. Great
I think
interview.
It's definitely a little bit of both, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even the same thing in my mind, actually, like when I think about it. Because when I write with Sean, I'm just like sitting, we're in his little studio, and I'm just listening to whatever he's come up with. Mm-hmm. And then we just work around that, and then things change. But when I write for Needless Love, it's I find it's more personal. Mm-hmm. Where we were writing these songs, when we came up with them, they're not about us at all. They're like stories. They're about people we know.
Yeah.
But they're very back and forth lyrically, like it's two perspectives.
Yeah.
Which I like. It's kind of fun.
We were talking about this and we're like, oh my God, everybody's going to think we're breaking up because all these songs are like, it's basically they're different couples are singing these songs to each other.
Okay.
But we're like, oh my God, if anyone just listens to this, they're just going to think this is going right down the toilet. Like these two are not happy. But yeah, so how these songs came about was Rae would have like a couple lines and then she would be like, do you have anything? And then it just kind of worked out that we're like, oh, this really reminds us of these people in our lives or these people that we know. And then we kind of created this narrative of like the couples talking to each other.
And Ciara's really good at just coming up with, like she's good at just spitballing, throwing ideas out. Whereas I'm more, like I wrote all these lines just by myself in my bedroom, just like playing whatever, like by myself. And then I'll give up essentially and just come to her and be like, can you help me? Do you have anything else? Me. Yeah, like, is this good? I don't even know. And then she'll just take it and just throw out ideas. In like 5 minutes, we have a full other verse.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ciara, you have a big improv background.
Oh, nice.
And so do you think
Oh, look at this guy.
this is like a therapy session now. It's
Yeah.
not even an interview.
Yes.
And do you think that's because a theater background and much more of like a
100%.
creative outlet? I'm
That's
assuming
it.
that's where it comes
the thing.
from.
Well, yeah, I think that I like writing with Rae because I feel like when you write by yourself, sometimes you take yourself really seriously. So like, I don't know, like it always comes off like you're trying to be poetic, which for me, like I hate those songs, you know, like you're just trying to use 3-syllable words and like really get your emotion out there. But yeah, so that's why I really like writing with Rae, because she's really great at coming up with melodies and always has like some really good ideas. And then, yeah, I would say my skill set is like just on the spot. Like I can come up with a bunch of words that
Just great at
rhyme and a
rhyming.
bunch of, I can't spell, but I can rhyme. I don't know what that is.
Are
but-
you the reason they dropped the endorsement from Needless
Yeah.
Love endorsement because no one can
I
spell
couldn't
it?
spell it. I don't think I could.
On the subject of writing as a duo, and like you said, sometimes when you write alone, people tend to maybe take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
I'm always curious about writing as a two-piece. Both like Needless Love was a two-piece until recently you added the third person, and the two of you writing together. I find that must be an interesting situation, just a two-piece, because individually as a singer-songwriter, one person, you only have yourself to bounce ideas off of, and if you're in a bigger band, any number bigger than two, you kind of have that like democracy or like mob mentality where ideas can be bounced back and forth and kind of distilled. But with two people, how do you find that creates a unique situation in songwriting?
And especially because we're a couple, like we're together. So that is,
Yeah, you're
That's
like, and
part
then
of it.
you're living together and you only see each other. So if it's a terrible idea, you don't really want to be like, oh, that's garbage. But
but we're both, there's no ego involved. So I think that's part of it too. Like we're both really chill.
yeah,
We'll listen to ideas. There's no like, no, we're not doing that. That's a terrible idea.
yeah, no, there isn't.
So we're like supportive, and Ciara's really external, I'm internal. So I'm more like weary to give ideas, I guess. I don't know. But I like to listen.
Yeah.
I like share what I have, but I'm like scared to kind of do it a little bit. But she's really good, and
Oh my God, stop it.
This really is starting to turn into therapy.
Yeah.
We're like exploring our inner
We were
depth.
talking
all
about how
needed
we're
this.
like fulfilling some prophecy of like the gay female couple starts a band and we're like, all right, and now we are entering our next stage of the relationship where like you start to write together. Because I feel like it is, in some ways, it happens a lot to lady couples that like to sing.
yeah, it was inevitable.
It was inevitable.
We were fighting it for so long. But then COVID happened, and we're like, okay, well, we just have each other right now, so.
Well, let's not fight it any longer. Can we hear a song right now?
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Perfect. What are you going to play for us?
Let's start with Pink Lemonade.
Let's start where it all started with Pink Lemonade.
You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. We drank pink lemonade, fell in love, made mistakes. Say you'll never walk away, but in the lonely night you'll never be alone. Like a double embryo, like a bee on a honeycomb. You go up and you go down, you're always trying to leave this town. Will it ever be enough? Will it ever be enough? It's so crazy, can't you see? There's nothing good like you and me. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up.
always fine. Good things grow in time. No one ever did regret giving up them cigarettes. And though the brakes are burning out, we're still driving down the road. No rush, we're going slow. Got your mixtape on my stereo. You go left and I go right. We always have this same damn fight. Will it ever be enough? Will it ever be enough? Come to me, I'll dry those tears. We'll buy that house this time next year. I'm never giving up. No, I'm never giving up.
Just give me a little love. Think about me all night. Come around in the morning. You see me in a new light. Just give me a little love. Think about me all night. Come around in the morning. You see me in a new light. Just give me a little love. Just give me a little love. Think about me all night. Think about me all night. Come around in the morning. Come around in the morning. You see me in a new light. See me in a new light. Just give me a little love. Just give me a little love. Think about me all night. Think about me all night. Come around in the morning. Come around in the morning. You see me in a new light. You see me in a new light. Thank you.
Amazing.
That was
Nice.
great.
That's awesome. So do you guys want to talk about like sort of the concept of that song and how it came to be and how it got to where it is to now?
Yeah. Where should we start?
Yeah, well, Ray had this line.
Okay.
We drank pink lemonade, so it came from the country songs, obviously. And then I think you'd written the first verse.
Yeah, I think I wrote the first verse, and then we got to the part. So there's like the line. We're trying to just come up with things like, "You'll never be alone."
You know,
We came up with like a double embryo and a bee on a honeycomb.
like things that
and we
go
thought
together.
it was the stupidest line, but we just couldn't come up with anything better. Like everything else was just so boring, and I don't know.
I like it,
We played it for
though.
a bunch of people, and they were like, "No, just keep it in."
Sneaks in there.
It's weird. It's a weird visual, but
Yeah. But it
kinda
started,
funny.
it's one person kind of, like it starts with whatever, this person singing, and then obviously the second verse is someone kind of being like, no, we like can't give up. Like, why would we want to do that? And then that little bit at the end, I don't know, we were chatting about how we like it when songs kind of
just completely
change,
Yeah.
like halfway through and become like, yeah, like Sufjan Stevens, you're always like, it's like 6 songs in one. Like, I love that. And so, yeah, we just came up with that part at the end, and it's kind of, that part is, it's like after a fight, you know, like just give it the night, like think about me all night, and then maybe tomorrow you might like me a little bit more. Like, let's not do it tonight.
Don't jump the gun.
Yeah, don't jump the gun. Let's like stick to it, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Nice.
other than that, we just it wrote itself. Like we wrote it pretty
It wrote
quickly.
itself.
I hate that.
It did right.
But-
It was really quick.
Yeah, we wrote it.
So
in,
how
like,
long did it take?
I don't know, maybe like a
An
couple
hour?
hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then we had a song, and we just kind of went with it.
Yeah, we didn't really
change
rewrite
that
it or
much.
anything.
No, we tried to, but
Yeah.
we couldn't come up with anything better. So we stuck with it.
So going back to the part you guys were talking about and being a couple, and now you've formed this band.
Yeah.
I guess what's your advice to other couples that are kind of challenged to go through if they're in groups or if they're both musicians and they want to create music together? I guess what are your tips and tricks to making sure that, like, because it seems that you guys are able to just be able to be open in a creative environment and you can separate that from your relationship, or you make it all in one and it's all healthy. I guess what's your advice?
What's your advice to other couples out there?
I would say you have to be really nice.
Just be nice.
Just
I
be
know.
nice.
Just
Just
to
listen
anyone.
to ideas, give ideas, but you have to listen and you can't just like shut things down right away. And I think that is just advice for anybody in a band. Like, you have to be willing to listen and you have to be willing to share, otherwise you just don't get anywhere. And like, just don't be a dick. Don't
I think that's applicable to anyone in any situation. Just be
Exactly.
excellent to each other.
Just be like
Yeah.
a nice person. Like, give what you want to get.
Yeah. I think it also helps because we live together. Like, we spend a lot of our time. Like, we have a bunch of guitars in the apartment, so I would say in a day we probably write like 2 or 3 just ridiculous kind of joke songs. And then from that, I feel like we actually get a lot of our good ideas or good lines. So it's almost like, I think the benefit of like living together is that it's never like you're formally like meeting up to like, do some writing or something. Which I guess is a good and a bad thing, but yeah, it just kind of like really naturally happens, and I find it a lot more fun just because
Yeah, I agree.
I think I had this idea that I thought songs had to be like so like intentional and like serious or whatever, but I think the most fun ones are when you just kind of make it up. Like this, it doesn't have to be true. Like we could be lying,
Yeah.
Like you could be lying about all the things that are happening.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to come from you personally. It could just be a
No.
concept, an idea of a general thought, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
I want to revisit the subject you brought up earlier of open mics, because I feel like that kind of touches on a little bit of what we're talking about here. Sometimes open mics almost can be this really, depending on the group that regularly goes, this really intimidating situation where you have to play every song amazing. And then there's the other kind of open mics where things are collaborative and you get to play around a little bit and goof around and you meet other musicians and start create projects and get these creative juices flowing. Has that affected your songwriting, your journey as musicians? I felt like that was the kind of phrase that takes itself too seriously, journey as musicians. But have you felt that has kind of been part of your creative process?
I think so. Rae and I at different times both hosted the open mic at Tiernanog. We got a good game of grounders going on behind us. We both hosted it at Tiernanog at different points, like different years. And also the Musiki open mic, like I've done that one a couple times, and I think it's a really great scene. And if like maybe you aren't super comfortable like playing yet, like it is such a good place. And honest, like not in a bad way, but people aren't really listening that much, so it doesn't really matter if you make mistakes, or it's just like a bunch of RMC boys coming in that want to have a good time. So if you play one catchy cover, like you feel like a rock star.
Yeah, it definitely got me comfortable playing on stage. Like, grateful for the open mics, but it can get like pretty tedious,
Yeah.
But it can be fun. It's a good place to start.
No, totally.
Yeah, interesting, because I always find that at open mics, the crowd is listening very intently.
Oh, yeah?
And at concerts, it's sort of like that's when to come
Okay.
in. So and you find the opposite, right?
Well, it depends. Like the Musiki one.
Oh,
for
that one's
instance,
Right, okay.
It's like a good listening
Yeah, okay.
experience. People are there to listen. Not so much the Tiernanog one. At least when we were doing it.
Yeah, it was a bit more.
It was just kind of, sometimes there'd be like 2 people there in the whole place, and then sometimes there'd be like 100 people.
But I thought it was a
And-
really great place to meet people. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you just like I met a ton of people in the music scene there, and then a bunch of like the guys that busk around town. Like they were all these dudes that used to do the open mic with me. So there's this guy Dave the Babe, and I don't know his last name, but I call him Dave the Babe. And he does like he plays the electric guitar outside of the Loblaws, like by the Kingston Center.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Dave
Okay.
rocks. And I think he does it outside the LCBO sometimes too. But it was kind of cool because it just kind of made you feel like you were in like a weird kind of like I feel like when you don't have songs and you're not playing shows, you feel like a fake, like you're like, oh, I'm not a musician. But yeah, we had like a weird,
It's like a little community.
it's like a little scene. Yeah,
It is a scene because it's very specific people,
Yeah.
too. You always see the same, I don't know,
There was this other
10
guy
people
called-
that kind of do the circuit,
yeah.
which is kind of fun.
Have you guys ever heard of Blake the Pirate? I swear to God, these are real people.
No.
I swear to God. Blake the Pirate, he was really good actually, and he played all the Tiernanog open mics. And he had this jacket with like a million patches on it. Also don't know his name. I sound like this was it sounds like a Kubrick movie, but this is real. These
sound like the characters that you make up for your songs.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So what's the biggest thing you guys miss about live music and the Kingston music scene itself?
Just all of it, really.
I know.
Generally going out and I love running into people. I feel like Kingston's really great for that. I know a lot of people hate that. I love running into someone, having a little chat.
That, so. I know you do though.
Yeah, but I feel like when you go to shows, you're so used to just seeing people there, and then when you don't have the shows, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't seen them in so long because I don't know, maybe they're not people that you make plans with, but you're just kind of used to seeing them more.
Yeah, I do miss it, but it's kind of nice to just have a break and being able to miss it.
Yeah.
And maybe,
Well, and you guys have seemed to and not everyone's been like this when COVID hit. You guys have been able to get right to being creative and start a whole new project, and not everyone's been like that.
Yeah.
But has that been challenging? Has there been times where it's just I don't really feel inspired right now?
It didn't happen right away. I'd say the first 2 months of COVID, we didn't do anything creative. We just
like everybody.
Oh, don't give us too much credit. We did nothing.
We did nothing for a long time.
Nothing. We watched 4 seasons of Hell's Kitchen. Who binges that?
I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
But it happened.
No, honestly, thank God we came up with something, because when people are like, oh, classic, what have you been up to? We can be like, oh, we've actually started a little project.
Yeah.
We're called Tiny Horse, by the way. I don't think we've said that yet.
Yeah, we're Tiny Horse.
We're called Tiny Horse.
We didn't put any pressure on it. I think that's why it worked out. We weren't trying to write songs. We weren't let's buckle down. Let's each do our creative thing.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened. I don't even know. I just picked up a guitar one day and felt inspired, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree. I think that it was important for everyone to kind of just do nothing and chill out and just kind of, I don't know, live, and just relax a little bit.
Take a step back.
Yeah. There was at one point where I was like, we should get a whiteboard, write down all the things we want to do, and that never happened. But so
because there's not much to do these days.
Yeah.
Turns out we didn't need it.
We didn't need it.
The whiteboard just stayed white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about, roll back the tape for a second here and talk about Needless Love endorsement, or Needless Love, I should say, because you've been teasing some new music coming up.
Yes.
Was that something that was planned before the pandemic, and did that affect the release of the new stuff?
Okay, well, we were really picking up steam before this happened, and we had a little jam space, and we were rehearsing, and we had a bunch of new songs, and that all kind of just went on hold. So we've just recently picked up again, but yeah, COVID definitely had an effect on that for sure. Just because we kind of stopped, and we were like, all right, let's just take a break. Let's just figure out what's going on. We were both kind of just in our own bubbles, and it's intense what's going on the playground right now. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to focus.
I'm really hoping we're getting some of this in the background. Can we just make the podcast that much more what is going on now?
They're screams of joy, if anyone wants to know. But yeah, no, we're on track now to hopefully release our latest song we just finished, and it's kind of spooky. We're hoping to have it out before Halloween. That's kind of the goal at this point. So we're just we're back in it. We've picked up some momentum again, and we're writing. It's kind of different. You've heard it.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
It's a bit darker.
Yeah, it's very very It's going to be very good for the season. Yeah. But it's cool. It is different.
Yeah, we should have something to show for what we've done pretty soon. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have the single out. We'll see. We're working. Sean just got somebody to do a little graphic for it, so we'll have a little piece of art that goes with it.
Nice.
That's the goal.
Looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah. And Ciara, have you been doing any of your sort of solo stuff, or Ciara and the Peaches, Ciara and the Pineapples?
Yeah. Yeah, so my drummer kept switching up. So when the drummer changed, we changed the fruit name. So it was Ciara and the Pineapple, Ciara and the Peaches. Now it's just Ciara. So, I got into the Fringe Festival, which was supposed to happen in the summer, and I was writing this kind of musical for that. So I spent a lot of time. My songwriting kind of went into that sort of project, which was super fun. And I did it with my friend Julia, which was more piano-based stuff. So I would say that's kind of where it's landed.
Yeah. So, and you kind of have that sort of special thing that like not all musicians have in Kingston. You have this sort of like interactive banter with the audience, and like you have this sort of comedic kind of side to yourself. So was that intentional when you started getting into music, or was it like did it just come naturally to you?
So when I was playing shows, like you have like a half an hour to fill, and I had like 5 songs. 3 of them good, you know? And 5 songs goes by quickly when you're up there, right? Like you're nervous and you're going. So I found just like out of default, I like just chatted a little bit to kind of fill the space. And then, I don't know, like, yeah, I like being on a microphone. I like kind of, I like, you know, chatting and telling some telling jokes and stuff. But yeah, I think that's just kind of, I think that's probably my background with improv and theater and stuff. And I think I'm destined to be like a wedding MC or something.
That's just like your personality. When you go on stage, you're like the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yikes. Can you imagine if
Facade.
not?
She doesn't like come up with these jokes, you know?
Yeah.
She's not like writing out a routine to go along with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Or because so many of the songs are like based off stories. And some people don't love that, like when you tell the story behind it, but I eat that up. I live for that.
Yeah, but
like,
you do it well, and you do it in a tasteful way that like it's engaging instead of
thanks.
just being like,
play the
I wrote this
song.
Yeah.
Totally. Shut up.
Yeah.
I think there's a really interesting like crossover between comedy and music as well. You see like all of these successful musicians who are huge music geeks, guys like Brian Posehn and Patton Oswalt, and all of these comedians who are going on tour with bands and playing
cool.
stages and festivals and stuff now. And I think there's got to be some kind of, I don't know if it's the performance-based nature of both industries and both gigs, but there's a lot of crossover there that I think isn't really talked about enough.
Yeah. Totally. I have like a sort of a dream of being like a female Weird Al Yankovic. Like, brilliant. Why aren't we talking about
comes
Weird
back to
Al
that.
anymore?
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
who doesn't like Weird Al?
Yeah, it's good, but
Not everything, but
yeah.
get some gems.
So has your songwriting changed from this project that you guys are doing now? Is it very different from what you were doing before, or is it pretty much along the same lines of like how you write creatively?
I think that I have the benefit of like Rae is like very super talented and has really great ideas. So I think that like elevates my songwriting. Like it makes me bring better ideas to the table. So I would say that these songs that were written, they're like my favorite. Like I would like listen to them, or like I'm not embarrassed to like show them to people, sort of thing. So I would say it's changed in that, yeah, work with good people and you create.
There's something
Good
nice
stuff.
about playing with somebody too.
Oh my God, it's
Like
so
I like
nice.
it so much more than
more
just like
fun.
doing my solo stuff. Being on stage alone, I just like it's more enjoyable to
Yeah.
have somebody else on stage with you to look at, to just
And you both
play
know
off
each
of.
other so well, so that
we
know each other pretty
a little
well.
bit.
Yeah.
She's all right, I guess.
Her, yeah.
Her. What's your name?
What's your name? Who are you?
No, it is. It's like it's nice. We wrote this song. It kind of started actually further back. Like last summer, we wrote this song, and it was called "Letter to Helen."
Promise to Helen.
Promise to Helen. I was dog sitting for this woman, Helen. She's awesome. And I was taking care of her 2 dogs, and I just wrote this. I wrote a verse, and it was just about, like, it's from the dog's perspective and me going to see the dogs. And I sent it to Ciara, and then she wrote a verse, and then all of a sudden we just had this song.
Actually, that's how we do it often. Like Rae will
Yeah.
send me a voice note of like 30 seconds, and then I'll respond to it. So I think that's why they turn it like conversation so much, because we're literally like voice memoing them.
yeah.
To each other.
It's my voice and your voice.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Helen?
Oh gosh, we
Give it a go.
Can we
played it
do
in so
one of
long.
the Tiny Horse one? Like one of the
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally
We'll
up
play
to you guys.
Shook.
We'll play Shook because
We
have
practice
this
that one a lot.
prepared.
Okay.
Ready?
It's hard to fall asleep in a heat wave in the middle of the city we know. You've got cold feet. It doesn't mean that everything happens for a reason. There's always time. There's always time. But I'm shook. I didn't think you'd leave for good. There was always something you were coming after. Shook. I never really understood. Now it feels like my life is a disaster. Shook. Just give me another look. Can't, baby, 'cause I'm going after. Shook. I hope you get it all. 'Cause I'm shook. I hope you get it all. It's hard to fall asleep in a heat wave. I thought it'd be easy alone. I've had bad dreams lately. Will the city ever feel like home? There's always time. There's always time. But I'm shook. I never really understood what it was that I was running after. Shook. Hope you find someone who treats you good. 'Cause baby, I was the disaster. Shook. I didn't have what it took. Love was never something I could master. Shook. I hope you get it all. Shook. I hope you get it all. I'm shook. I hope you get it all. One more time. I'm shook. I hope you get it all.
Awesome.
That was killer.
Yeah. I love how excited you guys got. Like when the big part was coming.
There's a big tambourine solo we were working on.
I liked you kind of got like a natural light show going on there because
Yeah.
right at the beginning when you were playing the instrumental bridge, the sun got a lot
Yes.
brighter, and then it like dimmed again during the verse, and then it did it again when you did the next
Sick.
instrumental bridge.
And the kids in the background started getting quiet, and
Yeah.
everyone left. And
Everybody left.
it was so peaceful. Everything just became so peaceful.
It gets a bit yelly, but I kind of like it.
So
It's
that's
really
why-
fun.
It was funny because so I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan. And I love telling Rae just like whatever, all the fun facts I know about some of their songs. And I was listening to Tusk, like we were cooking dinner and I was listening to Tusk and she's like, what's this one about? And I'm like, no clue, don't know. Like, no,
The only one, it like makes no sense.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're just saying, Tusk.
Tusk, dun, 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 with the big band. I've never looked into it. But when we were writing that song and Shook came out, I'm like, oh my God, this is like Tusk. Like just scream it, you know? So we need a marching band if anyone's out there.
Yeah. Well, it's got great energy. It's awesome. Do you guys have any announcements for what you guys are doing coming up soon?
Oh, wow. We really
Well,
don't.
We recently, we recently watched The Social Dilemma. I'm sure as a lot of you have, the new Netflix documentary. So we've decided, so we don't have an Instagram for Tiny Horse or anything, but it's going to be an offline band because
Low pressure.
yeah, we don't want to get those bots in on this, you know? We don't want them messing around. We don't want their algorithms working.
Yeah,
or-
we don't really have any plans yet for it. Like,
We're-
you can't hear any of these songs. This is it. This is the first recording.
This is kind of the start of Tiny Horse right here.
Yeah, it
actually.
really is.
This is our first
We're
performance.
getting in on the
So
ground floor. I like
This
it.
I
is-
know.
We don't have, there's no Instagram. We don't exist online anywhere.
Keep your eyes out for the Tiny Horse, though. We're going to be around.
We're just going to place tiny horses around the town. Like,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, I
in
love
Kingston.
that.
Just
And
Little-
these little,
little spy
tiny,
marketing.
tiny shows.
teeny tiny horses. You know what? We actually came up with the name at your cottage, Reid.
I did not know that.
We did.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, these
That's
are
where it
all
came from.
surprises to me. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I think it was that night. I think it was the night that you were there.
It was. He was. He went
Was
to bed.
I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
Oh,
we
my
played
goodness.
Cards Against Humanity. That's
Yeah,
it.
it came from a wicked round of Cards Against Humanity. Like, I don't know. I was just crushing. I had like 20 cards in my hands, like the winning cards. And it was, I forget what the question was, but I had Tiny Horse as a card and I knew it was going to make Rae laugh. It made no sense for the question. And I got the point. And we got the band name.
Yeah.
I need to get sober because I don't remember any of this.
We didn't really tell anybody though. In your defense.
Oh, okay.
But no, we're hoping to record some of these songs. We have an EP's worth of Tiny Horse songs, so
Yeah,
hopefully
we
this
have-
fall we'll get some of them
We
recorded.
have like
and
5 or 6 songs at
Yeah.
this point. So
people can actually listen to them.
yeah, we just need to record it.
Yeah.
Really, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a matter of time. Tiny Horse. I mean, just keep it in your brain.
Keep it in your brain.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming out today.
Thanks for
guys.
having
This
us.
was,
I
this is a
appreciate it.
beautiful day.
I
and-
love your park. You've done such a nice
Oh yes, thank you.
nice
I had a
thing
great
with
time.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This has been Kingston Live. We encourage you to rate us on your listening platform of choice and subscribe where possible. Kingston Live was recorded in Kingston by Titan Sound. Hosted by Riley and Reid Cunningham. Technical production by John Sanfilippo. Writing and research by Peter Sanfilippo. Executive producer Rob Howard. Special thanks to Jackson Coulter. Opinions expressed by Kingston Live guests are their own and don't necessarily reflect the opinions of Kingston Live hosts and staff. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at podcast@kingstonlive.ca.